far before the rise of Atlantis, before even the first pharaohs or the oldest temples of Sumer. There was said to be another world, a vast and magnificent continent now swallowed by the sea. Its name echoes through forgotten myths and obscure maps. Lemuria, the lost continent beneath the Indian Ocean. For centuries, the idea of Lemuria has haunted explorers, scientists, and spiritual seekers alike. A place where humanity may have taken its first steps, where ancient beings of light once walked among mortals, and where the secrets of creation itself may still lie hidden beneath the waves. The legend began not in the temples of Egypt, nor in the ruins of Greece, but in the quiet rooms of 19th century science. In the 1860s, a British zoologist named Philip Sclater was studying lemurs, strange primates found in both Madagascar and India, but nowhere else. To explain this mystery, he proposed that there must once have been a massive land bridge connecting the two regions, a continent that had since sunk beneath the sea. He called it Lemuria. But Sclater's theory of a vanished land soon escaped the pages of science and entered the realm of myth. Writers, mystics, and occult scholars began to claim that Lemuria was not just a geological formation. It was the cradle of an ancient civilization far older than any known to men. According to the theosophical texts of the late 19th century, Lemuria was home to a race of advanced beings, the Lemurians said to possess knowledge of cosmic energy, spiritual evolution, and the power of thought itself. They were described as tall, luminous, and deeply connected to nature and the Earth's energy. Their civilization stretched across the Indian and Pacific Oceans, from the coasts of Africa to the islands of Indonesia. But as ages passed, the Lemurians' knowledge became too great, and their harmony with the Earth began to break. The legends say the planet itself turned against them. Massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions tore their continent apart, sinking it beneath the sea in a single, cataclysmic night. When the waves calmed, nothing remained but the scattered islands of the Indian Ocean, the peaks of Lemuria's highest mountains. In the haunt of ancient Tamil traditions in India, there are stories that seem to remember this lost world. Old Sangam literature speaks of Kumari Kandam, a land that once connected India, Sri Lanka, and Madagascar. Poets described it as a paradise of wisdom and art, home to kings and scholars, until a great flood took it all away. Some Tamil historians even believe that Kumari Kandam and Lemuria are one and the same, the true motherland of early civilization. Meanwhile, in Madagascar, the local tribes speak of ancestors who came from a land beyond the sea, carrying with them strange tools and sacred symbols. On the islands of the Pacific, from Easter Island to Hawaii, myths tell of gods descending from a sunken land, a place of light that fell into the ocean when humans grew proud. Are all these stories fragments of the same forgotten truth? In 1872, the famous occultist Helena Blavatsky wrote that the Lemurians were the third root race of humanity, beings who lived millions of years ago and developed psychic abilities beyond comprehension. She claimed that Atlantis was actually a later civilization that inherited Lemuria's wisdom. Inerbition Lemuria was the dawn, and Atlantis, the sunset of ancient spiritual power. Modern science has long dismissed Lemuria as myth, replaced by the theory of continental drift. Yet, the ocean itself seems to whisper otherwise. Beneath the Indian Ocean, scientists have discovered massive geological plateaus, fragments of continental crust buried under thousands of meters of water. In 2013, geologists identified a microcontinent called Mauritia, lying between India and Madagascar. Its rocks, over 3 billion years old, suggest it was once part of a much larger landmass. Could Mauritia be the first real proof of Lemuria's existence? As sonar mapping improves, strange structures have begun to appear, symmetrical patterns, ridges, and plateaus that don't fit with known geology. Some explorers claim to have found ancient stone formations deep underwater, eerily resembling temples or pyramids. While many scientists dismiss them as natural formations, others quietly wonder, what if humanity truly did forget an entire chapter of its own history? In 2001, off the coast of India, near the Gulf of Cambay, archaeologists discovered what appeared to be a massive submerged city, nearly 5 miles long, with grid-like streets and stone artifacts, carbon dated to over 9,000 years old. If authentic, it predates the oldest known civilizations by millennia. Some researchers suggest it could be the remnant of a culture descended from the Lemurians. Yet, the deeper we dig, the more the line between myth and reality begins to blur. Mystics describe Lemuria not merely as a lost continent, but as a frequency, a higher vibration of existence that once coexisted with our physical world. They say the Lemurians didn't vanish, they simply ascended, moving into another dimension to preserve their wisdom until humanity is ready to awaken again. There are modern spiritualists who claim to channel messages from Lemurian beings, voices from the ancient oceans speaking of peace, unity, and balance. Whether you believe them or not, their words carry a strange familiarity, as if echoing from a time when the earth itself was alive with consciousness. Imagine it now. Deep beneath the Indian Ocean, sunlight filters through the blue waters, revealing colossal ruins covered in coral. Pillars of marble stretch toward the surface, carved with symbols long forgotten. Statues of glowing stone guard silent gates. Schools of fish drift through empty courtyards that once held scholars, artists, and kings. This is Lemuria, a world that sleeps beneath the waves, waiting for remembrance. Many spiritual traditions believe that when humanity rediscovers empathy and harmony with nature, the energy of Lemuria will rise again, not as land, but as awareness. They say the souls of Lemurians still walk among us, reincarnated to help heal the fractured world. Whether legend or truth, Lemuria challenges our understanding of history. It reminds us that progress is not only measured in machines or monuments, but in wisdom, balance, and connection to the earth. Perhaps the real question is not whether Lemuria existed, but whether we can ever live as its people once did. And so, as the waves roll endlessly over the Indian Ocean, the story of Lemuria continues. Whispered by the wind, guarded by the deep, and remembered by those who still listen to the silence beneath the sea.